special edition of Rajya Sabha Television Question Hour from the Parliament House complex, where we get you important on-start questions asked by the members of the Rajya Sabha and the answers given by the government. I'm Kriti Mishra, and joining me is my colleague Akhilesh Suman. So let's begin the show, and the first question that we've picked up is from Ministry of Defence, and this question has been asked by member Syed Nasir Hussain, and he has asked about the number of contracts signed by the Indian Armed Forces under the Make in India initiative during the last 3 years and the current year.
Government has said that up to October 2018, out of total 188 contract, 121 contract has been signed with Indian vendors, including DPSUs, PSUs, OFVs, and also private vendors for capital procurement of defense equipment for armed forces, such as helicopters, naval vessels, radars, ballistic helmets, artillery guns, simulators, missiles, bulletproof jackets, electronic fuzzes, and ammunition. Currently, Hindustan Aeronautical Limited has firm orders to manufacture platforms like Sukhoi aircraft from Russia again, light combat aircraft, Dornier aircraft, advanced light helicopter, Chetak, and Cheetal helicopter, which are likely to be executed in next 3-4 years. So you know that the government is very attentive about the defense procurement, and also trying to create a situation where people can get employment out of defense manufacturing, because when we talk about defense, we always think about armed forces, combatants and all. But there are large fields which can create employment in manufacturing sector for the defense. So Kriti, I will again ask you one question about the defense. Whether in view of current scenario, there is any proposal to provide latest technology to the armed forces of the country?
Well, Akhilesh, as you said, that defense production has been at the heart of Make in India initiative, and also modernization is a very important component, and this is an elaborate answer given by the government. And the government goes on to say that it is taking measures for modernization of the armed forces through procurement of new equipment and upgrading of existing equipment so as to ensure that the armed forces are equipped to meet the entire spectrum of security challenges. The modernization projects are progressed as per the approved capital acquisition plans and in terms of the extent defense procurement procedure. Capital procurement of defense equipment is undertaken from various domestic as well as foreign vendors based on the threat perception, operational challenges and technological changes, and to keep the armed forces in a state of permanent readiness. Now the next question pertains to the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and this one is about the status of development of green cities in India.
There are development of solar cities. And in the solar cities, government has approved 16 solar city projects, including 13 pilot and 5 model cities up to 12 5-year plan, that is 2012 to 2017 period. The development of solar cities program aimed at minimum 10% of reduction of energy through the conventional sources. So the type of energy we get either from thermal power or hydroelectricity, there is a plan that you should add to 10%. So you should consume less from those and add 10% more from this renewable energy like solar or wind energy. So that is the plan. And for that, you know that ministry has assisted municipal corporation, urban local bodies in preparing the master plan, because for that type of situation, there are 2 types of measures that is taken. One, either you get your energy requirement for your household from your rooftop, or you get give the energy in the main grid, and through the main grid you take the energy back. So both type of things, and you know that government is giving enough subsidies to the individual consumers and also to the cooperative society, the offices which can create a solar panel on the rooftops, and also who can transfer the energy, extra energy to the main electricity grid so that it can be consumable, because it is difficult to conserve energy in that way if you have excess energy from the rooftop. Oh, Kriti, there is a very interesting question, because when we hear about industries in India, we have created Navratnas and many heavy industrial projects. That question has been asked by CM Ramesh, and he is asking about the situation of heavy industries in the country. And the particular question that he is asking, whether it is a fact that most of our public sector undertakings are running at a loss during the last few years,
Well, Akhilesh, as you've mentioned that this question has been asked by member CM Ramesh, and this question pertains to the Ministry of Heavy Industries and Public Enterprises. And the government goes on to say that as per Public Enterprises Survey 2017-18 that was laid in both Houses of Parliament on 27th of December 2018, the number of CPSEs which have incurred losses is 79, 81 and 71 out of 244, 257 and 257 operating CPSEs during the financial years 2015-16, 16-17 and 17-18 respectively. As per the information made available by Department of Investment and Public Asset Management, Niti Aayog has been mandated to identify the CPSEs for strategic disinvestment and advise on the mode of sale, percentage of shares to be sold and the method for evaluation of the CPSEs. Moving on to the next question, and this one is to the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, and this question has been asked by Muhammad Nadimul Haq. And Mr. Haq has asked whether government has released the standard operating procedures for cleaning of sewers and septic tanks for field staff. Certainly a very important question. What is the answer, Akhilesh?
Yeah, Kriti, this is a very important question as far as the social justice is concerned. And you know that sanitation is one of the major problems in our urban habitats. And this question actually belongs to Housing and Urban Affairs, which is the administrative ministry for the issues. And but also it is also a fact that these urban affairs are the state domain. These are in the state domain, and when these are in the state domain, government cannot impose any of the things for them. But there are certain standard operating procedure that the central government has issued, and it has issued on 19 November 2018. This is called Standard Operating Procedure for Cleaning of Sewers and Septic Tanks. So according to this standard operating procedures, there is advisory that how to clean, what should be the frequency, what are the equipments that need to be procured by the state government or any concerned agency for that, and also what are the protective and safety gears that those people who are working for sewerage and cleaning of the sewers, and also it has to be followed by emergency situation. So what should be the preparedness for emergency situation? So all these things have been advised by the central government, and state governments have to implement it. But it is incumbent upon the state governments that whether they are financially efficient, whether they have enough technological preparations, but it is incumbent upon the state government that they should do all these things so that the life and quality of work should be done in the time that is required. So Kriti, these type of issues crop up many a times when you see the parliamentary debates and also the real question answer hours. So parliamentarians have eyes and ears on various questions, and that come rather from the ground and also to different ministries, different sectors of our social and political and economic life. So the next question, Kriti, is about space. You know that India is doing very well in space technology, and we are not launching just one or two, but we are launching space satellites in dozens, and even more than 50 at one time. And we are also assisting the neighboring countries, like we have launched the South Asian satellite, and any country who are in South Asia, they can take advantage of it. So space technology is one of the major strength of our country. So the question has been asked by Congress member Ambika Soni. She has asked whether ISRO has decided to set up a space technology park and museums across the country, because I think that the way software technology park was established in the beginning when India was becoming software power, the same way she is indicating that whether we are also creating certain facilities across the country so that people can take advantage of the knowledge of space technology. What is the answer?
Certainly this one is a very interesting answer, and the government has replied in affirmative. So ISRO has plans to set up space galleries in various locations across the country. The space galleries are expected to disseminate the knowledge about space science and technology among the citizens of our country. The gallery will consist of interactive methods, models describing the principles of space, science and technology. Initially, space galleries are planned to be established at Birla Science Centre at Hyderabad, Nehru Science Centre at Mumbai, and National Science Centre at Pragati Maidan in the national capital. In addition to this, ISRO has taken initiatives to establish Space Gallery in all the national museums, science centres, under Ministry of Culture across the country in a phased manner. So these were the important questions and answers in today's edition of Question Hour. Prashant Kal on the other side. Stay tuned to Rajya Sabha Television.